Are you happy in your business? Now, I have had my share of emotional ups and downs in my 20 years of being a solo entrepreneur coach. And the patterns I've seen in myself and in my clients is that those downs are usually when I was personally feeling unfulfilled. Sometimes it was because a launch that flopped, and sometimes it was just life and had nothing to do with business. But those ups, oh boy, those are the times when I was feeling my most authentic and completely aligned to my purpose, or when I just felt like I was rocking that work-life balance. I would be thinking I could do this all day long and never feel tired. One of my loves is sharing what works for me and what has been working for my clients to achieve this very feeling, full of passion, happiness, peace, and freedom. So I decided to create a private podcast for coaches. Maybe you just want to develop better communication skills that boosts engagement, leads to better results, and makes you feel like you're actually making a difference in the lives of the people you serve. Then you're invited too. We talk about this and more in the UBU private podcast for coaches. Whether you're a mentor, a parent, or run a client-focused business, coaching skills benefit everyone and anyone who wants to communicate in a way that builds relationships. Fall in love with your life and business again. Click the link in the show notes for your invitation to join us right now. Then come back and enjoy this episode. Hey, difference makers. I hope you enjoyed season 2 of the podcast. This is a season 2 finale of sorts that's going to segue into season 3 that's coming up very, very soon. Truth be told, I didn't really know what season 3 was going to be about, but this morning I was scrolling on Instagram and came across Brene Brown's account and saw a video of her saying something that touched me so deeply and was so validating that I knew almost instantly. So if you're a Brene Brown fan, you're going to love this episode. Let's go ahead and dive in. It's time to stop comparing yourself to others and plug into what is uniquely you. Welcome to Unbox Your Personality, the podcast for coaches, creatives, and educators like you who understand that your happiness makes you more effective at what you do, bringing out the best in others. I'm Jen P. Higgins, personality strategist and Enneagram fluff remover. Get laser focused on who you are and who you aren't, so you're free to make the impact you were born to make. And have fun doing it. Your personality is your business. So let's get down to business. Good morning. It's Jen, and it's a Saturday morning. I just woke up, and that's why I look like this. But I decided to start recording video for whenever I'm recording my podcast, just so that I had something extra to post now that there's Reels and TikTok and all those kinds of things. So I am here all natural for you guys. No makeup, still in my PJs. But I was scrolling through Instagram, I think this morning, and I came across a quote. I don't want to say quote because I might misquote it, but I saw a video of Brene Brown. And this is what she said, or I'm paraphrasing it. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. But she said, your capacity to connect with others is only as deep as your capacity to connect with yourself. And I'm like, yes, exactly. Because when you think about business is all about relationships and connecting with other people. If you can't connect with your audience, they're not going to buy from you, right? If you cannot connect coaches, if you can't connect with your clients, they're going to feel like they're going in circles. They're going to be those forever clients like coaches. Our goal is not to keep the same clients forever. Our goal is helping them move on. And so if you are
still having the same clients that you have had for months or for years, then you may want to take a look at your methods and seeing if you're actually connecting with them and helping them connect to themselves. But you can't connect to them without first connecting with yourself. Same thing with educators, teachers, or authors. You can't connect to your students, or if you can't connect to your students, they're not going to learn. They're not going to hear what you have to say. They just may be entertained, or they may be bored and they're going to close the book, or they're going to drop the course. But this is exactly why I developed the 9 acknowledgement languages. Now, if you're new to the podcast and you don't know what the 9 acknowledgement languages are, that is my methodology for not only teaching the Enneagram, but it's teaching people how to connect with other people, because now you're able to connect with yourself. So it's kind of twofold. People come to me because they want to learn how to connect with other people, but what I'm really showing them is that your personal development is what's going to help you succeed in your business. So these 9 acknowledgement languages, yes, it's a vehicle for me to show you more about the Enneagram. First, how to type yourself. Second, how to connect with yourself. And third, how to connect with other people. And in that order, because you really can't go outside of that order. Well, in truth, you can skip the typing part and go straight to the 9 acknowledgement languages, because as you're learning the 9 acknowledgement languages, you're going to figure out which type you are. So, but you definitely have to connect with yourself first and before you can connect with other people. I think what I like about it the most is that it's tapping into the part of your ego personality that you've been denying. You've been swinging your pendulum so far to the right that it's no longer a pendulum anymore. Now it's a wrecking ball. And maybe you're feeling out of balance. Maybe you're feeling out of control. Maybe you're afraid that any minute now that other shoe is going to drop. Or maybe you're not feeling any of that. Maybe you're just feeling slightly off or dissatisfied. And in that dissatisfaction, maybe you're feeling a little bit guilty because why am I dissatisfied? Look at all the blessings in my life. I have so much to be grateful for. Why am I not satisfied with what I already have? And the answer to that is that there's a piece of your core that you're denying. And I'm not saying that that's a bad piece. It certainly can be bad. Our ego can be bad. But when you can start acknowledging these parts of your personality, then you start feeling validated. And it's the good kind of validation. It's self-validation. You're not relying on other people, those people that you can't control. You're not relying them on anymore. You are taking ownership of your own validation. And when you can do that, you don't feel broken anymore. You don't feel like there's something wrong with you. You are a lot more empowered in your own life. You think, oh, I do that because I am slow paced. That's one of the acknowledgement languages. Or I'm not a bully. I'm just confronting. And when you can accept these pieces of you, you don't have to fight it anymore. You have the self-awareness to be able to balance it. Now, yes, you do need to rise above your personality. You do need to rise above your ego. But if your ego doesn't get what it's craving, it's going to weigh you down. It's going to pull you into that box that you so desperately don't want to be in. Instead, you want to think about your ego as an anchor to your reality into this physical world. So just like your soul uses your body as this vehicle to be in your physical world, your soul or your psyche uses your ego to navigate this reality. And you have that choice to honor your body and take care of it, the same way you have the choice to honor your ego and take care of it. Now, this can be selfish if you overindulge in your body or overindulge in your ego, but it can also be selfish when you neglect them. So really, what ought to be happening here is seeing it as not selfish, but a necessary maintenance for being healthy when you balance it. That's looks like self-care, right? It looks like self-love. And this is why I call it personality wellness. We take care of our bodies, but we also need to take care of our personality egos. If not, it will control us in very unconscious ways. But as soon as your self-awareness improves, you will start being able to see your ego for what it actually is. It's not something to fight. It's not something to deny. Denying it is like fueling a slow burning fire and it slowly dries you out. Like, we are given an ego for a reason. And if you have the same belief system as I do, this temporal world is temporary. And so to navigate this world, we have a body, we have an ego. And it's in understanding how it works that allows us to fulfill our purpose here at this time. So that kind of helps segue into the point I really want to make in this season 2 finale is that season 3 is coming up. It's coming soon. And it took me a while to come up with a theme. As you know, season 1 was kind of just me figuring out how to be a podcast host and what all this podcasting buzz was all about. And season 2 was a supplement to the book that I just recently released in December that introduces the general public to the 9 acknowledgement languages and using brain science to unbox your Enneagram. Now, season 3, we're going to get back to the heart of what my business is about, and that's your business strategy. And this is really what I am obsessed about. I have been helping small businesses who really needed to build their confidence in starting a business and then keeping their motivation through those crucial first 2 years by understanding more about their personality and also understanding more about their customers and who they were selling to and how to approach them that felt good to them so they didn't feel salesy. But 2 years ago, I had to put my business online because of this little thing called COVID that kind of shut the world down. And this was a new ball game for me. So in season 3, I'm going to be sharing everything that I've been doing in the last 2 years, what has worked for me, what hasn't, and what was working, but it didn't feel great. It felt a little icky. I couldn't put my finger on it, but I knew that something felt off. And so I stopped doing it, even though it was successful. So if you're a coach, an educator, a creative, you want to turn your knowledge into income, be sure to follow season 3 because not only are you going to learn more about what I did to get aligned to my business, but you're going to know how to tweak it for yourself so that you get a perfect fit strategy that fits your personality. And it all begins with connecting to yourself because when you unbox yourself, you unleash your power.
Thank you for listening, subscribing, and reviewing the Unbox Your Personality podcast. To learn more about yourself, go to powercoachjen.com. Find out how you are different so you can make your difference.